Let's go. Let's go. It's Monday, and Bitcoin finally did something decent. Yesterday, closing out the final week for September, we got a pretty solid close. After a lot of weakness over the last 14 days, just a glimmer of hope keeps us holding on here. Not looking so bad on the week. Though, I don't know if 112.1 gets you excited, we did finally pull up from the 20 weekly moving average. Big deal. We were trading all the way down at 108 last time we were streaming, and basically at the last inning of this week, bulls came in, pushed price up, and we've even seen some continuation into Monday here. Now, we always need to be skeptical of Monday. We've seen a lot of kind of false Monday moves, but that weekly close is solid. This is a good signal. This is what we needed to see, right? We're going into the end of Q3. We have 2 days left. September, thank God, finally ending. We're going to move into October, and Q4 will be upon us, and hopefully all of our dreams and hopes come true. Hopefully. We're going to break down this chart. We're going to look at some other interesting charts, some in crypto, some not. I appreciate you being here. It's kind of a quiet day. There's a little bit of a hype divergence going on. This was a great close, and today's follow through, I think this deserves a little bit more energy than we're seeing in the space. Certainly lots of things are going on. People are paying attention to football. I don't know, man. There's lots of stuff more interesting than this going on in the world. So I get that people are maybe a little disconnected, which could be good, but there's some divergence here. This is a really interesting finale to what was a chaotic month, I'll say. So if you could, guys, please smash the like button, subscribe, share, I don't know, engage with the live stream, show YouTube you're enjoying it. Hopefully my connection stays steady here today. Josh asked about the sub counter. Let me see. There it is. There it is. I put it back up. I don't even know why it wasn't up. Sometimes I just decide to turn it off. There we go. 188,000. I think we broke 188 last night. Nicely done, everyone. 200K by the end of the year. We beat Bitcoin to 100K, and now it's looking like we're gonna beat it to 200K. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. There's some really interesting stuff going on outside of crypto when it comes to charts. We'll stick to Bitcoin and crypto, at least in the beginning, and then we'll get into that. We'll take a look at Clash. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it. I have seen Crypto R Us George tweet about it. Seems like a collaboration, maybe a sponsorship with Clash of Clans. I don't know. 180K is huge. I agree. I've been totally numb though, guys. I don't. After you work for years and years and years and you watch this number go up, you hit like a milestone or 2 or 3, and then it's just, I don't know. It's all the same. It moves so slowly in your brain that it doesn't ever feel any different. You know, 180 isn't feeling different from the 160, 150, whatever. But I appreciate you guys subscribing, helping us get there. This is definitely farther than I ever thought the channel would go. So shout out to you guys. Everyone in the chat right now is the foundation of how we got here. I like that. It's a sign. I know. What's up, Brandy? What's up, Bojack? Eric will buy the pound. I don't even know what you're saying. What's up, Dylan? Shake Zula, YB, Kodan, Ape, Bullish Future, Tillin, Crypto Stevo, Pickle Queen's here. How are you? Ape is moving? Question mark. Is it? Lion. Who else is here? Who else is here today? Nick, Darren, Adam. I see a lot of good names. Felipe, Bob. How you doing, Bab? You missed the start? No, you didn't, Shane, because we literally are just starting right now. What's up, bro? Welcome, Shane. You never miss it. You're always here. Shout out to you, Shane. Shout out to you, bro. You're always here. Appreciate that. Like I said, you guys are the foundation that we have built this community on, and couldn't have done it without you. So let's look at this. Let's jump into Bitcoin. We haven't done a little Bitcoin breakdown lately because it's really not been fruitful, but I think there's spice to be found in these charts right now. You're just here for the vibes. Let's go. Let's go, Monkey Bones. Bangarang Rufio. What's up, brother? Heavy Duty Charlie. Good to see you, man. Happy Monday. So what I was saying, if you missed the intro, basically last week and the week before, 2 really ugly candles, and their ugliness is compounded by this monthly chart. Last time we streamed, price was all the way down here at September's open, around 108K. on Friday, I think. Friday, Wednesday, whatever. After rejecting August's opening price, 115.7. I'm still in that short, less comfortable, obviously, than last week, but this was a bad setup. This candle was looking very, very weak, very bearish, and wasn't showing really any signs of bulls being interested in price. With just days to go, we have seen potentially a meaningful reversal of that sentiment. Prices pulled up from the lows of September, and it did it. The timing here is honestly more kind of bigger to me than necessarily the price change, right? With just 4 days to go, right? We left this on Friday. On Friday, we were all the way down here, 108, 109. Things looked very bleak. We had rejected these major moving averages. It looked, I'd say the chart looked like it wanted to make a move lower. Over the weekend, though, that pressure, perhaps from the large expirations. Remember, we talked about that. Lots of contract expirations on Friday there. I don't remember how many billion, but whatever. Releasing some of that pressure. We talked about how they're not really bullish or bearish typically, but we do see opportunity for volatile reversal. And that's pretty much what we got. It wasn't super volatile, but we have floated back up and things are looking much better. With just one more full trading day to go, we have changed this monthly candle from what looked really bad moving into October into something a little bit better. And even with a day and 8 hours to go, 32 hours to go, we could see price move above 115.7. We could see it close bullish engulfing after all this. And honestly, that's been a lot of what we've seen in this cycle. There's been a lot of really slow starts to months, and then at the end kind of wrapping up, changing the whole picture, kind of setting us up differently than we'd expect from kind of the whole month of trading, right? My attention is drawn to the weekly though, because this just closed. We still have 2 days-ish for the 2 days-ish for September, and more importantly, the quarter. This 20 weekly, really big. This was, for me, the most bearish signal. Down here last week, below the 20, after testing it, barely holding on, lower high. This was going to be a signal that price was looking to go lower if we had closed below the 20 week. Closing just above it just in time, and now this week actually off to a little bit of a start. I think this sets us up for a pretty solid looking first week of October, end of September, and even, as we've been talking about, lots of people maybe not realizing this, September, the last month in Q3. We are officially moving into Q4 in less than 2 days. October kicks it off, and we have seen the biggest moves historically in Q4 for Bitcoin and for crypto. So sentiment's down, but we may be moving into that final inning where things finally get more like we remember. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think we're going to see basically the cycle repeat as it always has? Q4 comes in, makes everything look exactly the same as it always has, and all the people saying this time is different again eating it. That's where I'm at for now. On the weekly though, solid close. So what are we going to do? We're going to look upwards. We're going to look upwards. Last week's open at 15.3, the week before opening and closing roughly there, and the week before closing there in September. All of September's candles basically up at 115.3, and with a solid close, that is the logical place to be looking. We have reversed, at least in the short term, and we are looking higher. We are looking for that next upside resistance. 115.3, probably the place to be looking, whether it's into the end of September, just into the end of this week, or just into the end of September. I think that's solid. That's actually there's probably a play there. We'll look. I'll see if I can find a solid trade for us. This did not play out last week. I left it there to remind me of my L's, to keep me humble. This was looking very diamondy. Did not play out. Continued to dump, but here we are. This is actually a pretty critical area. We did talk about this last week. Let me see, is that on this chart? Here we go. We talked about not just these moving averages. You can see the 20, 50, and 100 daily all right about here at 113.7. Probably why price has slowed down a little bit. Profit takers coming in, people looking to get out of a bad position, probably from back here on Wednesday when the rally failed to take us anywhere. People got trapped in positions looking to get out now. likely a contributor to this slowdown. But we looked at this, more importantly, this green box. This was kind of the focus on Friday. This green box. We have many moving averages and things, but whatever. We've been using VWAPs, and we're using VWAPs here. We said a lot of these major VWAPs from the start of pretty much each month going back, I don't know, all the way to April-ish, are in this zone. This is a pretty tight zone for so much trading volume and so much trading time, right? A 4% box, 4% range that reflects the average price of Bitcoin bought over the last 150 days. Right here. It's about 111 to 115.7, 115.7, 115.3. No coincidence, 115.3. We said that if we see price, well, we said this first. Price is likely to return to this box. It's going to look to tap this liquidity. Rejection from there is the really bearish signal that we're looking probably to break 100K. We didn't get that. That's good. We tapped the box and we continued up. And I kind of set this out as a two-path possibility. Either we move through this box very quickly, and I said that could lead to new all-time highs even by the end of September, even in the next, like over this weekend, in the first 2 days of this week we're in now. Or we've come up here and we find resistance to kind of dick around, move sideways. And I think that would be the less bullish scenario in the sense of the longer we stay under these VWAPs, the more likely I think it is that we re-explore at least our lows from September. So far, this is decent. It's decent. 2 candles, and we've made it through the majority of this resistance. I think a close today at or above 115.3, probably going to be that let's go signal, kicking off Q4. Closing here today, which might be the most probable outcome, probably looking for a small, not so exciting candle tomorrow, and slowing down that momentum. I want to see bulls retake this. I want to see them scoop up all of those weak buys, all those weak-handed buys, all the weak paper accumulation that we've seen July, August, September, basically all through the summer. The faster we move through this box, the better and the more efficiently we will basically leave them behind. And that's what we want to do if we want to move to new all-time highs. Profit takers have come in every single all-time high that we have had all year. As soon as we've tapped it, we've sold off. And that is likely, in my opinion, because of these weaker hands. It could be obviously explained by other things, but these weaker hands, these probably long-sighted people who change their mind as soon as they're underwater and want to get out. So we are right here, 115.3. There's, I would say, is going to be the most. Is going to be the level where I wouldn't be surprised to find confluence almost everywhere we go, right? We see it on the weekly. We see it here with the VWAPs. Interesting, kind of the moving averages aren't there. I don't see any moving averages up there, which is maybe surprising. I don't know what to think about that. It doesn't really matter. We got on the day. What? My market cipher B is gone. Market cipher. Hold up here. Cipher Bay. My Bay. Market cipher Bay. Damn. That would have been such a good way to like promote it during the FOMC. Market cipher Bay. I might tweet about that later. That's actually funny. Let's see. Momentum. I like this momentum weight. I like where VWAP's at. I like the, is this a lower high? Yeah, equal high, lower high here on money flow. Not bad. It is very largely just mirroring price, so no clear, strong signals in my opinion there. We see lower highs and higher lows, and that's kind of what we're seeing on our oscillators. So no real divergence to be had, at least on the daily time frame. Same with the week. We are coming off bull divergence on that low, but nothing of note here. Interesting. Momentum doing a will they, won't they dance while money flow continues up. Weekly, not bad. Not bad. I don't even know if you guys can hear the music. I turned it down low. We're doing less music today. Or maybe I'll put on something. We'll see. 12-hour up, momentum up. Momentum up on MACD, increasing buying momentum. You've heard us so much, crypto. It's hard to trust you. It's hard to really give into it right now. You're like, are you just going to immediately sell off as soon as I think it's real? That's how I feel. It's like as soon as it rallies now, it's like, well, man, it's gonna sell off and go sideways as soon as it gets exciting. 4 hours rolling over here. This is solid. Solid. This is what you want to see. Little tap to resistance, a move higher. We have a higher high. Coming back down to 112.5. This could be a trade today. I can see that. It actually mirror the move we just saw. See that. Hold up here. I'm just getting my compass calibrated. Ooh, look at that 2 hour RSI. You gotta love it. RSI on the 2 hour hitting 82. When was the last time we saw that? August 10th. August 10th, almost at all-time high. Bulls showing something here, and just in time. That, with minutes to spare, honestly. Hourly still in a nice uptrend. Kind of like this. I'm gonna get to the chat in just a second. Hold up. I think I'm missing something. What am I missing, chat? What are all the gurus saying? What are the gurus talking about? Let me refresh the chat here. Let me pull it up. By the way, please, if you haven't, hit that like button. Subscribe. If you subscribe while we're live, you will see very interactive, very cool. You will see this number roll over in real time. You can be the 188,000th 82nd subscriber to this channel. That's historic. Think about it. Don't wait though, because that opportunity will go by. Will go quickly. But make sure you're engaging with the live stream, hitting the like button, chatting. The more you do that, the more YouTube shares this with new people. That's what we need. That's what we need to grow. I see Crypto Thug subscribed during live. What's up, brother? XM4HOD. How are you? I was in the zone. I was in the zone. I wasn't paying attention. Crash incoming, says Crypto Juggle. Where are we crashing, bro? CME gap 110. Christina, Harifit. I'll pull up CME. You're right. We talked about that on Friday. That we would see a new gap come Monday. And I forgot about it. I'll be honest, I was pretty sick over the weekend. Still got a little of those germs I brought back from Ohio. CME gap 110.1 to 111.3. There it is. There she blows. This is closed. No gap above. Something you will notice, and this, I'm not saying that you should make a trade right now based on this, but something you'll notice is every move up, every time Bitcoin gets a leg up, right? It does something pretty consistently on CME. You'll notice virtually every significant move up. And when I say virtually, I think it is all of them. I don't think any in this cycle have not seen this. It leaves behind a gap. So I actually feel a little bit comforted by this new gap below us in price because it's so consistent. Now don't get fooled, don't get trapped, because we have seen as well, here's an example. We moved up. This is a really exaggerated one, but in 23, you moved up, you left a gap, you came back and filled it, and then you left another gap, right? So just because there's a gap and a move up doesn't mean that's it, but we haven't seen a significant move without leaving a gap on CME behind in this 3-year bull cycle period. Just something to think about. Gaps usually fill more in bear markets. Well, you do come back. So, like, I think that's something that just has to do with the nature of numbers and math, right? When you're moving up into prices you've never traded into, you have less opportunity to fill them in. But then when the market reverses and comes back into traded prices, there are gaps it can fill. Like, there's no gaps above it. You have to trade there to create a gap, That's just something to think about. But it's I think that's probably an accurate statement. There's just a little nuance to it, maybe. CME is cool. CME has had times where it's valuable. It has times where I don't think it's super valuable. It sometimes reflects technical analysis just way better than spot. I don't know why, but sometimes it does. In this run, we have seen some very consistent moves from our moving averages. I would say they actually have played better or more, maybe less manipulated or less false signals than spot. The 200 daily moving average on CME this entire run has been an incredible entry. Like every year, September 23 back here, 25K, this 200 day perfect support ran. Back in August, you broke it, but largely held as support again before it ran. Even into April of this year, support on the 200 before it ran. Like, you don't see this on spot. Spot is not operating this cleanly. So there's absolutely value in CME. I think you just have to find it. And for me, the value can be gaps at times, but I don't think the major value comes from the gaps. Gaps are, in my opinion, a great confluence when we're looking for trades. In fact, our short position that we took, I don't remember now when we placed it, before I went to Lost Lands. Right. One of the confirming pieces of evidence or confluence for the short, pull up the wrong exchange, was there's also a CME gap there. We just filled the CME gap like in real time while looking at it, and it hit that price. It is a good little addition to your equation, your trading equation in your brain. Okay, hold up.
To experienced, expert market participants.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, this trade. Yeah, a little short ski. Not doing as hot as Friday. By the way, let's take a poll quick. Actually, no, we don't need to do a poll because we don't have time. The SEC is holding SEC-CFTC is holding a conference of some kind right now where they're likely to discuss the changes on reporting for businesses. And of course, the CTFC and SEC are big, maybe the main factors, regulators when it comes to crypto. Do we want to watch this? If you think we should watch this, put a 1 in chat right now. If you don't think we should watch it, put a 2 in chat. Let's see what you guys say. We could just turn it on for a minute while I wait too.
We begin today with remarks from SEC Chairman Atkins.
Let's listen to Chairman Atkins in a minute, and then we'll
and SEC Commissioner Crenshaw will follow.
Chair Atkins.
The first panel will lay the groundwork of historical context for our discussion today. Our second panel will provide perspective from trading platforms, followed by remarks from SEC Commissioner Ueda. Our third panel will provide perspective from market participants, and SEC Commissioner Peirce will make closing remarks. So welcome to the stage.
Let's listen to Atkins.
Chairman Atkins. Mr.
Chair
Chairman.
Atkins. Let's see how boring it is. Yeah, but Chair Atkins at least the chair will be the most interesting, I would say.
Well, thank you very much, Jamie, and good afternoon, and thank everyone here for joining us either in person or, of course, online. But before I begin, and this will be true for everyone who speaks up here, I have to remind you that the views I express are my own and do not necessarily represent those of the Securities and Exchange Commission or my fellow
Then why are you
commissioners.
speaking?
I should also like to thank Acting Chairman Pham, as well as SEC and CFTC staff for organizing this joint roundtable with a little advance notice, and of course, our stellar group of panelists for lending their time and expertise to today's program. Today, I believe, marks a turning point in the history of American financial markets. For too long, the SEC and the CFTC have operated in parallel lanes, too often in conflict with each other, leaving the American public to bear the costs of duplication, delay, and uncertainty. That era is behind us. We are charting a new course, one that will solidify America's position as the world's financial leader. Today, I look forward to hearing from industry leaders on how the two agencies can better coordinate on behalf of the American public. But let me be clear, our focus is on harmonization, not on a merger of the SEC and the CFTC, which would be up to Congress and the President to do. Fanciful talk of reorganizing the government risks distracting us from the monumental opportunity that we have in front of us. What matters is building a framework where our agencies coordinate seamlessly, reduce duplicative regulation, and give markets the clarity that they deserve. The path forward right now is collaboration, not consolidation. I look forward to working with Congress and my counterparts across the administration to ensure that the SEC and the CFTC operate in concert, side by side, hand in glove, so that American innovation and investment can thrive. Unfortunately, decades of regulatory fragmentation have left innovation stranded. Entrepreneurs forced to navigate two often conflicting rule books have taken their ideas overseas. Investors have been saddled with duplicative collateral requirements, locking up capital that otherwise could drive growth. America, the nation that gave the world the deepest, most dynamic markets, has watched innovation migrate abroad as our two agencies protected their turf at the expense of the American investor. This regulatory fragmentation may have been appropriate for a different era, but the complexity of today's financial markets demands a harmonized approach. Congress created the CFTC in 1974, giving it exclusive regulatory jurisdiction over commodity futures. This initiative reflected the realities of that era: distinct markets, separate participants, and clear lines between securities and commodity derivatives. But markets, like rivers, have a way of finding new channels. What were once separate streams have converged into a rushing torrent of innovation that demands a new approach. Today's torrent of financial innovation demands a unified response. We are at a crossroads. If we follow the path of our predecessors, America risks ceding leadership in the next chapter of financial history. Already, novel products have fled to foreign markets. Entrepreneurs have built offshore structures to avoid our fragmented, convoluted system. So this ends now. To achieve this ambitious vision, our two agencies must work in lockstep to transform dual regulation from a source of confusion into a source of strength. Together, we can offer the best of both worlds: the investor protections that have defined U.S. markets, combined with the innovation-friendly approach that will keep us at the frontier of financial technology throughout the 21st century. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a new day at the SEC and the CFTC. The era of regulatory fragmentation is ending. The age of harmonized, innovation-friendly oversight is here. We stand at an inflection point. The choices that we make in the next few years will determine whether America leads the digital age or whether we watch from the sidelines as others seize the opportunities that we should be creating. And together, our two agencies will ensure that the next chapter of financial innovation is written right here in America. The winds of change are blowing. It's our task to ensure that they carry American leadership forward into new frontiers. From the buttonwood tree under which the New York Stock Exchange was started to the blockchain and beyond. It is our responsibility to ensure that all market participants, whether incumbents or new entrants, who are hungry to innovate are not hindered by unnecessary regulatory hurdles in bringing new products and services to investors in our markets. So I'm very interested in learning from our panelists today. We first will start, as Jamie mentioned, with a discussion of how we got to where we are over the past half century, although I think I'm perhaps the only one who's been around that long in this room. Then we will delve into more specific issues regarding areas of overlapping and sometimes conflicting jurisdictions. Unfortunately, I cannot stay the whole time, but I very much look forward to your input and welcome a continuing dialogue over the months and the years as we work together. So thank you very much, and let's get to work here and learn something.
I hate I hate all of this. All right, what did he just say? He just said, well, first he said, this is my opinion. It doesn't reflect the SEC or the CTFC. You're the chairman, bro. What do you mean it doesn't reflect that? Like, what? Anyway, that's just like nothing. Second of all, there's no table here. That's a rug. This isn't a round table. But the hello, lady. The actual thing that I don't like is he just spent whatever amount of time, the age of them not being at odds and stopping each other, getting each other's way over. Didn't list a single reason. Didn't list a single concept of why that would be true, of how they are going to make this more efficient, how they're going to lubricate the system, how they're going to split up jurisdiction in a meaningful way that allows each branch to operate in the way that they should. Like, he said literally nothing. Not even nothing. It triggers me. I'm sorry, guys. It just triggers me. It freaks me out. It's like, just give us anything. I'm so sick of hearing we're going to make things better. We're going to do this. Not just from Chair Atkins, but just from, I don't know, the last 5 years, when there's just nothing substantial. No details, nothing. Never get to it. Just say we're going to do it. All right, I'm done ranting. This lady's cute.
I want to especially thank Ileana, Phil, and Taylor from the SEC and
I think we're just going to miss her thanks. That's okay.
Together. Unfortunately, in recent years, the SEC and the CFTC haven't always answered that call. Shortly after being sworn in as a CFTC commissioner in 2022, I partnered with SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce in an op-ed calling for greater collaboration among our agencies. We sought joint roundtables like the one we are holding today, or resurrection of the long-dormant CFTC-SEC Joint Advisory Committee on Emerging Regulatory Issues. Unfortunately, our recommendations at that time to collaborate and work together fell on deaf ears. In recent years, the dynamic between our agencies could be described as one of competition rather than collaboration.
I like that outfit. I think that outfit's wild. I'd wear it.
What this administration wants. It is not what we want, and it is not the best way to serve the American people who rely on us.
What is the best way?
That as two agencies, we are once again working together for the mutual benefit of our financial markets.
I like the outfit. I think it fits hot.
I'm so grateful to have a colleague at the helm of the SEC committed to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see the poll. More people said they wanted to watch this than I expected. I definitely don't want to watch this whole thing. It's going to be very boring. I wanted to see what Atkins had to say. I figured he would set the tone. The tone did not make me feel confident this is going to be valuable.
In a collaborative manner to ensure we are providing the highest level of service to our markets and to the American people by aligning our regulatory frameworks and requirements wherever possible to eliminate duplicative and unnecessary requirements and burdens and to support responsible innovation. You've already seen our agencies hard at work implementing the recommendations of the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Markets through the SEC's Project Crypto and the CFTC's Crypto Sprint. But why stop there? Improved harmonization between our agencies promises to accelerate efficiencies, foster innovation, remove jurisdictional ambiguities, and enhance market access and options for customers and investors. And that's what today's roundtable is about.
That's what it's about.
Imagine,
we'll be talking about it,
if you will.
So the Trump, some of you are saying put the Trump thing on. Well, first of all, I don't think it's even live yet. It's 1:12. Trump is, when he does these, it's never It's never at the time. It's supposed to be 1:15. But Trump speaking with Netanyahu, we're not watching that. I'm not putting that on. Nah. I'm sorry. You guys are definitely well going to watch that whenever it starts. Man, you guys voted for this, but
that you could start over
I
from
think you should reconsider.
blank sheet of paper, that you could come up with a market structure that works best for liquidity, for capital efficiency, for volume, and for flow. And I hope that that's what we're beginning to work on with today's roundtable. Okay. What is the best, most optimized market structure for market participants, for those users
focus on the history of the relationship
from them, and most of all, for the investors. Many of the market structure innovations that
I'm rugging you. We're not doing it. I'm rugging you. Even I am like, no. Do I want to just sit here and I don't have to like do anything and I just watch it with you? Yeah, but no, it's just, I don't think they're going to talk about anything. I think it's going to be hours of, we didn't work together in the past and now we're going to work together in the future. And like just absolutely no comment on how they're going to do that. What's going to change? Here's what needs to happen. This has been, I don't even know who I replied to in chat, but this is, the reason there could have been value here is because the SEC and the CTFC have basically their relationship and their jurisdiction when it comes to Bitcoin, crypto, and digital assets has been a big question in our space. Honestly, over the last many years, I think we've gotten a sliver of clarity on that in this administration versus none in the previous ones with Gary Gensler, etc. It's been a big question, and so it would have been possible that they would give us some very valuable stuff here at this round table. As you'll notice, there's no table, but I just don't think they're going to. I don't think there's going to be anything at all that real, like there might be a few sentences that will be like, we're working on this together, you know, like just something that's vague and doesn't give us any details. Yeah, everybody remember to take your Tylenol. Take your Tylenol. She's off the Tylenol. Don't put on Trump now. We're not. YB, it has not. Yeah, you reconsidered. That's right, Mark. It's also not live yet. I can't put it on. The only video you'll ever need series. What's that? I mean, I have some videos with that title. That's for sure. It's a good title. It works. What were you replying to? Pranav? Where? You sound experienced. All right. Do something. Digital orgy dance for me. Dance. What's up, David King? Can't take Tylenol. You're not pregnant. That's true. If you aren't pregnant, you can't take Tylenol. I'm not a doctor, but I hear that's true. Oak Low, David. What's that? Powell's the goat. Oh, I'm gonna miss Powell. Support the minions. That's right. What's up, Ultra? Microdosing Tylenol. Whoa. What about pecans? We haven't heard about pecans lately. And that is obviously market manipulation from the biggest of players. There is really no pecan price chart per se. The one that does exist, actually, I've never seen this one. We've looked for this and we couldn't find it. And now it's just on the Federal Reserve, on the Fred website. What? This was not here before. There's a lot of analysis to be done here. And what we can see is in February of 2012, pecans were actually at their highest price. They crashed into May of 21, but they have recovered a little bit. And what we can take from this chart is that pecans are inflation proof. They are the best investment, perhaps, for people who don't like to make money and people who like to eat pecans. They are not a great investment for people with nut allergies. And that concludes my analysis on pecans. But we will keep you up to date. We're the only channel keeping you up to date on pecans. So remember that. Remember that next time you open up YouTube. What's up, Ravi? Ravi subscribed and he's like, I don't know what I just subscribed to. This is the strangest of strange. I got kind of knocked off topic by the SEC just kind of putting on gibberish. Let me refresh this. Where are they at now? Harmonization. They're going to say the word harmonization a million times in that roundtable. It will never end. Harmonization. No added value. I agree. We skip. I would have liked to cover it, but man, that's going to be bad. If we had started the stream and it was about covering it, we would have pushed through, but we're not going to. We're not going to do it. I didn't even look at nut allergy giggity. That's my girlfriend got nut allergy. What's up, Philly Skills? We also have some charts that I didn't get to that I'd rather look at than hear a bunch of grandstanding, every single speaker thanking 800 other people that are in the same agency for their great work. A bunch of circle handshaking, you know. Gold is something we should absolutely look at. I will say, we're talking about this before the stream in the lobby, and gold and silver are honestly worrying. I'm worried. I got some worries here. Gold and silver are signaling something. I do not know what, but the charts are signaling something that is not good. I don't want to FUD you out. I don't want to make you panic. That's not my goal. But they're signaling something that I don't think I've ever seen signaled in markets. And I don't think it's a good thing. Silver is running. Since April, silver has basically been trading like Bitcoin. Now, its gains only up 63% since April of this year. Silver is up 64% since April. Silver. Remember silver? The thing that hit its all-time high, like, I don't know, in 1980? It's been 45 years. It just gained 64% in a few month period. This is alarming. This chart looks, it really does look like an old crypto chart. It looks like Monero or something. Like big peak 2017, 2021, and now we're here with the higher lows coming up. Like, this is crazy bullish. The implications are probably for economists to write about. Certainly it's nothing good. Our whole world is based on electronics. Electronics need gold, they need silver. If their prices go up goes the price of electronics. That means like everything. That's inflation, baby. But they're signaling something crazy. Like, silver is going to at least test all-time high this year. It seems very likely that it will break all-time high and that it will then begin some kind of price movement similar to gold. We followed gold on this channel for a long time. It changed its tune sometime last year when it broke a decade-long trend line and just kept on going. It was like late Q4 when XRP was running. The last time people were thinking about crypto was when gold broke a just decade-old trend line and started acting like a cryptocurrency. I made a prediction earlier this month. I think it was this month. Maybe it was August. That gold would hit 5,000 by the end of the year, which is an absurd thing for me to say. But it just keeps on coming. It just keeps on trucking. What is going on? The roaring 20s, baby. That's right. The roaring 20s. What is going on? This is insanity. This just like cannot be good. Cannot be good for anything. Except for, I don't know, people sitting on a lot of gold. Though I guess conveniently the US is sitting on a lot of gold, right? Even, well, this isn't the right chart. I was going to say even platinum. Another chart that doesn't seem to ever do anything. Platinum. Seeing some significant or even impressive gains here since April. Platinum is up 78%, up more than silver since April of this year. Looking, in my opinion, to absolutely, I would say test 1900, but if gold's breaking all-time high and silver's breaking all-time high, I don't know. Probably platinum's breaking all-time high, right? This is wild. Metals moving like this is something I've never seen in my entire time of trading, in my entire time as an adult investing. I think we're going to have to ask the boomers, what does it mean? Platinum's next. It's right here. It probably is next. We have to ask the boomers. When was the last time platinum went nuts? 1999. That's actually not as far back as I thought. 1999 to 2008, into the financial crash of 2008. That's actually spooky, I'd say. Pretty spooky there. 500% over the course of about a decade. 550%. And then it crashed into the end of the year, right? I guess, when was the exact financial crash? 2008, 2009. The end of 2008? I don't know. Interesting. Something to keep an eye on. I'm going to have to ask the boomers. Can you guys just go ask your parents? Make your bread now. Make your bread. Get your yeast cultures ready is what we're saying. Get them ready. Robinhood, unrelated to metals. I told you we had some like cool charts that weren't crypto. We can look at more crypto ones too, though. Robinhood. This one now kind of a side crypto one in a way. Because Robinhood getting more and more into the crypto realm. Trading at all-time highs again today. Broke its IPO all-time high back in June of this year and has continued to put on grounds. I think 150 is a extremely reasonable target in this environment. Timing, I'm not even going to like try to guess. I mean, it could be like tomorrow, it could be end of year, it could be, you know, whatever. 150 seems like a great place to look to take a little profit there using our Fibonacci extension tool, our measured move target at 150. I think that's a solid place. Maybe not to sell all your spot, but to maybe close a perpetual position. But if we zoom out and we apply the same logic we do typically in crypto, we may be looking for a much crazier $400 Robinhood stock. What would that make the market cap? Robinhood market cap? Is that what I'm looking for? I don't think that that's going to show me actually if I just type that in. Maybe I'll do this. Hood. Can you not see like Robinhood market cap? This does not do market caps for stocks. That's weird. Cap. Cap. Hood. Hood cap. Capping in the hood now. Somewhere. I was wondering what the market cap would be if it did go to 400. I guess if it's at 132 now and the market cap is actually, you know, crypto has really kind of messed with my understanding of valuations. I look at Robinhood, a massive company, right? Massive. And it's up, it's at all-time high. And it's like got 118 billion. And it's like, that's it? It's peanuts. So if it goes to 400, it's like what, half a trill? You know, just really bad ballpark math. Okay, that's possible. That's not out of the realm of possibility. But at all-time highs again. Again and again and again. Kind of interesting because I don't believe the S&P is. No, the S&P filling in the weekend gap here while Robinhood puts on ground. People pound their chest about gold. No, absolutely none. I will admit, Dinkles, I'm right there. I don't know if I'm pounding my chest or not. But I don't own any gold. But I look at it all the time. Long Aster. How's Aster doing? I have it pulled up still. Ooh, my. To Printfinity and beyond. That's right. Aster at $10, says Saiyan Warrior. Really? Really? I don't know. I haven't learned that much about Aster yet. Lower highs, lower lows there. It's not really what you're looking for. You're looking for a crazy rally. We did call at least the local top here on 𝐒𝐈𝐆. Look for a short 243. It didn't fill, but you know, you're on the right page. There's really there's just no TA to be done on things that have so little chart history. You can like go down into really low time frames and be like, oh, we got this and that, but it's like you're on the 5-minute, dude. Who cares what it says? I like to look more at just structure, more at what's going on. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? You misvoted on the poll? That's okay. I'm going to end that poll because we're done. We're not going to watch that boring. What do I think might be the next catalyst? Vegas call. Yo, optical art. What's up, Steve? USA government shutdown October 1st. Well, Trump better use his negotiating skills and keep the U.S. government open. President. Be the president. Yeah. When was the last time the U.S. government did shut down? When was the last U.S. Gov shut down? I feel like it wasn't that long ago. (2019) during Trump's first presidency. Then 2013 during Obama. Oh, were there two during Trump's first term? But it was like, one was only 3 days, so I didn't really count. And then Obama and then Clinton. 2013, 1996. Yeah. Not good. I mean, you don't want the government shut down. It's not a great thing. In general. It's not, it's like, it's not recommended. You should invest more in brass. All right. Washington Mutual in the crash having $5 stock is worth 5 cents. Ooh. Crash was October of 2008. Shirley Sound, thank you. I asked that a little bit ago. That makes sense because literally that is the bottom of the platinum. That's a bottom. It's funny how looking back and in hindsight, it's like, oh, the crash, this or that. And you look back on the chart and it's the lowest point. And so it's like, oh, that was the crash. It's like really the crash was up here, July, August, when it started selling off. This was like when the recovery started, right? People say the same thing about COVID too. It's interesting. It's just interesting how we remember things, how we kind of label them. What's up, Bruce Reed? What's up, Kevin? Kevin Van Hassendonk. What's up, 777? Thanks for joining us. Thank you, brother. No, shut the government down. Shut it down. I don't know. Not giving healthcare to non-citizens. We should give healthcare to citizens. That's my crazy kind. This is my crazy thing. I think we should do that. We don't have to give it to non-citizens. That's not what I'm saying. Let's give it to citizens, though. I do want that. I do want healthcare. I do want to live. Aster is Binance's version of Hype. Actually, one of the Binance teams that I've had some contact with over the years, like one of their, I don't know, like launch paddy teams, not like really the exchange, added me to a group chat recently. And when I say recently, I mean like today or yesterday. And the first thing I said was, why is BNB doing so good this cycle and nothing else? And then one of the second things I said is, people seem to really be following Aster. And they said, people are crazy over it. It's a good thing for us. Yeah, they're BNB chain people, so maybe they know very much about Aster. I'll have to ask them more. One was because of the COVID. That's true. Big Beautiful Bills when they almost shut down. That's why I thought it like already happened. That's why it was fresh in my memory. Okay. Got it. I don't know. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Turn it off and on again. See if it'll reboot. You lay off half the government. It'll take exactly the same amount of time it does. Full stop. Really lie in my pocket? I would love to see a source on that. It doesn't say. It's something that sounds like something I would say, but just like is just not based necessarily in reality. I feel like if you shut down half of the government, it slows down more than half. You bought Aster. It's been down since. Yeah, that do be how it goes. Do be how it goes. You should have tuned in here because we did talk about not buying it, as we always do when things go up and are hypey. Doesn't mean it will never go up again, but we like to buy it when it's red. And speaking of when it's red, it's been red. Maybe not quite where I'd look. I don't have the confidence to say this is a good trade, right? Because there's just no history. But if 166 comes, certainly is a better price than you've seen over the last few days. I think that there is some kind of logic here to a trade. Now, the stop loss there is probably crappy. You probably want a very tight stop and then would be potentially looking to enter lower at 140 if this gets stopped out. I think that's the play. Outside of that, what do you got? You wait for $1, right? You wait for $1. What do you do after that? You put your head between your legs and you kiss your own butt goodbye because you probably got wrecked. This is how I look at it. Buying new things on the way up is just so risky. So risky. Hopefully you didn't get hit too hard. I wouldn't be surprised if you can get out of the position anyway eventually. Be careful. Markets go up during government shutdowns. Ask Grok. Is that what Grok says? I don't know. I have no idea if that's true even, because when was the last one? 2018, 2019? December 18, January 19? Certainly markets did not go up January 19. But January 18, markets were kind of at their peak, huh? Here. Bless you, M Ninja. How you doing, bro? Just shut down the IRS. I agree. I agree. Let's just shut that down. They're 10 cents next year. What's up, Crypto Knight? How you doing, bro? S&P pumped 10% post-government shutdown. Okay. December 22, 2018. Yeah, we looked this up, but I'm gonna be hard-pressed to believe that markets pumped. Maybe they pumped like for a day. December 2018. That was not like a bullish time in my memory. December 22. Yeah, that was not a bullish day. That was not a bullish day. There were no bulls to be found on the S&P, though it was close to the bottom. What's the other one? October 1, 2013. October 1. I mean, it did go up from there. Didn't last, but it did go up from there. Okay, I'll take it. Check out Hemi. What's Hemi? All right, I'll pull it up. Swollen Crypto. Let's go. What's up now, man? What is Hemi? YB, you're always here, so I'll take shit requests. Take it from you. Alex Wells, good evening, sir. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we go. Got it. Hemi does not have a index. Okay. Oh, there it is. It does have an index. Ooh. Drove the Hemi to the levee, but the levee was dry. Started trading in August. Now back down. Coming back down to reality. On the weekly time frame, doesn't look too savage. That daily was not great. Weekly, not too bad. Let's throw that on there. Got a weekly resistance right about 10 cents. Solid. Do we have even a monthly close? No, we don't. No reversal. Let's see. Just mark out kind of the obvious points of trading here, right? You got like 4.4 down here. 6.2-ish. 5.5. Okay. There you go. Slap a fib on it. You know, what else are you gonna do? Slap a fib on. Ooh, 5.5. I like this. I like this 5.5-ish. 5.5. 5.5. Not bad. 0.5. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this chart either. But one thing I'll look at is this is pretty gnarly. This is pretty V-shaped top. Not really what you want to see. More like what you want to see during a recovery. You are at what I would consider a level I would look for a bounce, even if it was just a dead cat bounce. Does not appear to have found support there. Damn. That's kind of ugly. I wouldn't touch this. Personally, I wouldn't touch this. If I was going to touch it, I'd probably look down at 5.5. Tommy boy, what's up, Broadcast? Historically, every October 1st, we see a massive pump. Most October 1st, go back and look. Yeah, October, we've done a good amount of the reminiscing for Septembers and Octobers. And October has been the month. Q4 has been the quarter. October has been the month. In bull markets, we've tended to see very big October upwards candles. Bear markets, they tend to be kind of the crashier candles. It looks like October, and maybe because it's the first month of the fourth quarter, are just very volatile. Tend to have the volatility. But October has been pretty good to us, I believe. October of last year, we definitely didn't get a pump right away, but it did. I would say that was a very bullish time, the October time. Kind of similar here. Interesting. We got a big pump in 23. Okay. We got a 3.8% candle, but nice green candle there in October of 23. So far though, it kind of looks like these October months start out, at least in the last two, a little bit sideways, kind of choppier, and then lead into like kind of the wind up into the throw. You know what I mean? Did I already get that October? Yeah. And then you go to October of the bear markets of 22. Choppy down. So it's almost the exact opposite. It's like choppy down. October. Here's a big October. More so than other months, October does tend to kick off with a nice candle. Previous bull run, 21, October 1st, big old candle. My nose is running. Choppy. I remember this one. This is the savagest one. Savagest October. October 1st, 2020. Choppy up. Yeah. October itself. One of maybe the biggest months. I'd say like January too. November also. October tends to be one of the biggest months in the year. The calendar year for crypto. Right here. Right here. Right there. Not so big. Big. Yeah. Big. Look at this 1 minute. That's longable. That's longable on the one. I like that. 30 to 60 day pump it to the moon. Let's go, Bry. Let's go, Bry. Patiently waiting on the bonk. Your boy Drizz. Drizzit Defender. Yeah, I haven't looked at bonk in a while. What's it doing? October resets the fiscal calendar as well. Okay. VI Peoples. I don't recognize your name, but you're laying down some good comments today. Appreciate you. TradingView has ruined the trade here. I don't know where it was. Stop loss at negative 86, which is hundreds of percents down. So let's just get rid of that. Not super impressive looking. Let's see what do you got on the week. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Short-term downtrend in a larger uptrend, at least until 112 is invalidated. Rejected. You know, all this is just about to look different, though. We're going to close, on the month. Just ruined all my trades there. TradingView. On the month, this is not looking bad. I kind of like this on the month. You have big green candle. Red, big green, red, what, fall out higher, get another green candle. But I like this right here. It's not super visible on the day or anything, but 195 right there. April, May, pullback, higher high, pullback. September closing above 19.5 probably sets it up for a little move upwards. A little pumperoon. Pooperoni. These quarterlies look absolutely awful, though. I hate these quarterlies. They've offended me. I don't like them. Tall wicks, tall top wicks, tiny bottom wicks, tiny bodies on the candle. That's gross. On the day, it just looks like chaos, though. This reminds me of Solana. This. Let's see. Am I right? Kinda. Are they the same time frame? Yeah, same time frame. This looks a lot like Solana. That's interesting. Do you see it? All-time high November, all-time high January, a little bit later. Oh, Solana went on to hit an all-time high after bonk. And bonk just sold off. But this same kind of like all-time high, range, low break, higher high, higher low setup. All-time high, range, low break, higher high, higher low setup. Interesting. Interesting. Full moon October 6th. Let's go, Joey. Let's go. You're on your phone. Your YouTube name is VIP Money Talk. I don't know. I don't really recognize that either, but you're welcome here, my friend. VIP Peoples. Also, maybe, I don't know, I've been sick the last few days. Maybe my brain's just not working. Growing wedgie. Let's go. Rising widened channel. Oh, yeah, I do see that on a lot of things. Solana does kind of look like that. But it broke to the upside, so if it holds low. Filecoin, you made me look bad. You didn't go to 24. This was all the way back in March of 24. So more than a year ago, a year and a half ago, and everything was blasting and hopes were higher. This trade worked out though. Filecoin looks like shit, Christy. I'm not gonna lie. This looks very bad. This looks very bad. It hit an all-time low in June. It had an all-time low in June of this year. What? I know a lot of people that got burned on this. I don't think I ever bought any. I probably have some somewhere, but does it have a longer history that can save its all-time low? No, it doesn't. That does not look good. That's not great. I would say, just to throw some hopium in there, like this does look like eventually, who knows, Lord knows when, but this kind of falling channel-y price action looks like it eventually wants to, maybe pop up to like $5. Like that, I would not be averaging down on this one personally. Like, I would not. Something like that. A lot of people have been holding it forever. You're not alone, Randy. Not alone. I remember people were really stoked about this in 21. Really, really stoked. Damn. Rest in peace, people who bought it at almost $250. There's been a lot of chatter about it. From who? I don't know. I haven't heard it. Fair enough. I'm gonna pass on that one. If I had to, gun to my head, make a trade on this, like it had to be a long, I probably would look too long at just at its all-time low. Like, you're just catching knives. Like, at this point, you're just catching knives. Like $1.95, $1.95. Stop loss, just, I don't know, up your butt. Who knows? You're just wrecked. But I would look at an all-time low, and then I would likely target just under $5. Try to front run some of this. This is the way I would play it if I had to. Something like that. I'm not doing it though. I will put an alert here. And I will put a message of all-time low. There we go. There it is. Vet is a big disappointment, bro. We all have them. We all have them. We all have our disappointments. We all are holding some of them bags. It was a different time back then. Bags did better. Not really. I don't know. We got out of our bags back in the day at some point. Even Litecoin here stopping me out. Wrecked. Riggedied. Not even looking. I mean, at least $100 held. That's good. I also have been holding some things for a long time. I'm okay with it. Obviously, I would have rather Litecoin pumped to the moon, and I took profits on it, and that'd been great. Still think, I can't deny that this chart still looks insane. It's still bonkers. There's just no way to know, like, when that's gonna play out. Could be like a decade. Could be this year. Could be a decade. There's just no way to know. I've been waiting forever. All I know is that I'm not taking $106 for a Litecoin. I'm not selling my Litecoin for $106. Sunk cost fallacy, maybe. I don't know. I'm in profit, not a big one, especially not for how long I've held it. But we all have those coins. What's up, Power of AI, Ravi? You guys subscribing? What's up, brothers? No chatter, bro. Queen Savage today. She's on her game. AVAX, Litecoin will one day. I agree, Randy. One day. Any comment on Jim Cramer's post? I don't know, man. Like the guy. How often does he comment on things? Constantly. There was a while where he was like really nailing it in the inverse area, but if you make, 100 calls a day, you're going to get a lot of them wrong, but you're going to get some of them right. It's just like numbers at that point. I wouldn't pay attention to it. I wouldn't pay attention to him. I'm glad he didn't say Bitcoin. That was good. Psych, here's CKYE. Here's your AVAX. We had a sick call on AVAX. This is one of the big winners of this channel over the last month. Huge call. 30% gain against Bitcoin. Boom. Locked and loaded. I still think the USD pair is looking all right. It didn't fill us. Maybe it won't. I kind of think it will. Stopped at resistance, reversed. If it holds 23.72 and moves back to the highs, it's probably going for 45. Probably looking right around here, maybe the end of the year. Let's say December 15th, right here. Descending high trend, crosses the horizontal resistance. I think that's on the table. Litecoin looks great. She's just holding out on us. Yes, she is a tease. XLM line. All right, pull it up. Made almost $5,000 on that AVAX call. Go, Randy. Let's go, brother. That's what I like to hear. Love to hear it. Wow. Remember when we were all looking at XLM? I remember when it was what was this? November of 24, yeah. When I was like, I guess XLM's going to all-time high. Like, because what other conclusion was there? It went from 10 cents to 63 cents in like 2 weeks. Its all-time high was 79 cents. Like, it was right there. Just the way it goes. We had a good long. That looks like kind of the, in hindsight, bottom on XLM at 23. 33 cents still hasn't filled. Tapped resistance. Looking for that fill at 33. Personally, I would wait for 33 if I was going to touch this. Time to stand up, says my watch. God, these AIs controlling our lives now. Telling us when to stand, telling us when to sit. Yeah, 33 is so juicy. I think I planned on taking that trade. It just never really hit. Because it's been there since July. It's been there like half a year. I'll add this long question mark. Long? I'm starting to put more details in my alerts because I've noticed they go off and I'm just like, I don't know what this means. Why did I set this? Why did I even do this? XLM. When do I see Bitcoin topping this cycle? What time period mainly? There's only one answer that makes any sense to this, and that's Q4. December, November-ish, right? That's the only answer anyone should give you. Any other answer is just like, I don't know, attention seeking or click seeking or, which is whatever. We're content creators. Like, but not really honest. It's not really honest because you're basing it off just nothing. You're just like, I just want to have a different answer, right? Every cycle, we've seen the same thing happen. It's Q4. It's like November-y time. Maybe this cycle is going to be different, but like you need, at least for me, I guess I'm like Benjamin Cohen in the sense, like I need an invalidation. I need to see something that suggests it's different before I start saying it's different for clicks, And that's why I'll never be a 1 million subscriber channel. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, man, just same as it's always been, man. You go back in time, and you're like, boop, right there, early November 21, 4 years ago. Exactly 4 years from then, it'll be November 2025. You go back to 2017, December. 8 years is basically 8 years ago from December of this year. Yeah, it just fits. You go back 4 more years, you see another all-time high. Like, will that happen forever that way? Probably not. I would say not likely. It will break eventually. But to call it before it breaks just seems silly because it's just like a broken wheel or a broken record, broken clock. Eventually you'll be right if you just keep calling it. And I told you. It's like, yeah, but dude, you said that every time. So you didn't really tell me. You're batting 1 for 1,000. But I hit that one ball really hard. Bitcoin looks like it's going to move up again. I like these hourlies. 115.7, 115.3 we were talking about earlier. A lot of the old confluence up there. The old 15.3, top of the box, top of the week. Might not be a bad place to look for a short. Now, I already have a short, and if you've been following this channel, you might already have the same short from a better, cushier position. But if you don't have 115.3 is not the worst. I don't know where. Take profit 110.8. Stop. Like 1.5 to 1. I hate that. I don't like that ratio, but whatever. I'll take it. Something like that. Yeah, there you go. Could do it. We're pushing through these VWAPs though. Honestly, if we hit 115.3 like today, and especially if we close there, I might close my short. Might close it. Sharing is caring. What's up, bro? There's a lot of institutional money in XLM. Seems regarding their digital RWA portfolio as Templeton found has slept in XLM for a while. I don't know. I mean, I can't confirm nor deny that. I can say that I've heard that about like everything, right? I mean, we hear these things about everything. It's like, oh, this and that and Amazon partnerships. I just am very skeptical of all of those. I'm just skeptical of any information that is outside the chart or the code. Any information outside of that, I'm super skeptical of. And that's just the way I roll. All-time high. Let's go. Wonder when that one will go off. Hopefully soon. BTCD. Oh, my nose is starting to run. Ugh, got the mucus. Got the mucus. Got the wook flu. Dominance. There's no change. Still looking at a reversal. Still looking same spot for reversal. I think we see into this red triangle. Honestly, I think we see higher still. But it feels like we're running out of time. Maybe this cycle's different. Maybe. You know, people say, I was just like kind of ranting about people diverging from the 4-year cycle, looking for the top in the same times. I didn't qualify that. What might be compelling evidence for me that would change that? So an all-time high in 2026. Say we get into January. It's like midway through January. If it's like January 1st, meh. But I don't know. We're midway through January or preferably like February. And we hit all-time high USD on Bitcoin. Then it's time to say, is this different? Because then it starts looking different. Maybe if that's on the table, maybe that explains some of, I was just saying, it seems like we don't have enough time. Maybe that makes the time for this, right? It's like December, like when, like if the cycle ends and dominance doesn't drop, it doesn't even have to drop that far, but if it doesn't drop to like 50 into the bear market, this is what we would expect. So what does that mean? If it doesn't drop, if this is like the low, what do we do? Just like jump right back in here and like start cruising up during the bear market? That'd be wild. That'd be wild, and it would absolutely destroy alts. Completely, utterly. Ethereum didn't fill. Neither did the Bitcoin pair. It's almost 2. Been live since 12:30. Hour and a half, not bad. Not bad. 200 likes. These like numbers. Not great. Not the best. Okay. By the way, if you're out there and you haven't subscribed or liked the stream, why don't you do that right now? I'll give you a second. Take your time. Oh yeah, Clash. I said I'd look at Clash. Mostly because I see Georgie Porgy out there promoting it. And I want to see what he's promoting. We'll take a look. I assume there's going to be no chart history, so. Clash. Clashube. No. Clash. Clash. Okay, it's only on Mexi. Only on Mexi? That's not a good sign. That's a bad sign. It's a very bad sign. Honestly, that's enough for me not to touch it. Like, only being traded on XC is enough for me not to touch it. Let me look this up. CoinGecko. Confused. Wait. George plays Clash Royale. So this is George's, this is his token. I thought that maybe this was like had something to do with Clash Royale, like actually. Wait, what? So he launched this on Pump Swap Pump. Okay, so this isn't even it. This isn't the thing that's in front of us. Shouldn't be it, because CoinGecko doesn't even acknowledge that. What? Doesn't even acknowledge that XC has this, which is interesting. Very little liquidity. I mean, that's not surprising though. Like, not surprising, especially if it's just like he launched a coin. What? What am I looking at? What am I even looking at? Wait, so he launched this. So when did he launch? He launched this back in August? Like when did he start talking about this? That was almost 100 days ago. Let's look on CoinMarketCap. That's it. I have the correct chart. And that's it. It's weird though, because the reason I'm confused is CoinGecko is not acknowledging. It's not acknowledging it, like that it exists. Like that's weird. CoinMarketCap doesn't have it at all. Now that's very strange to me. CoinMarketCap, oh, they will put anything up. Clash Royale. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I did refresh and do it. I'm so confused. You believe it launched 2 weeks ago? Well, this is what I'm confused by. It's like, well, then what is this? What is this trading? You know? Gap. When did he even start talking about this? Why are there huge, like, look at this. This is so strange. What is going on? Look, November 20, November 21, Friday, the 26th of September. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't, I see why CoinGecko doesn't acknowledge this, because this doesn't make any sense. This is incorrect. There's something weird going on with that chart. Like, specifically with MEXC and this data. I'm not accusing anyone of anything outside of that right now. Deck screener, I guess. Deck screener. Deck screener. Deck screener here. Deck screener. Get your deck screener. Yeah. Okay, search deck screener. I just try to copy the contract address, not the name of it. Silly goose. Yeah. This. Okay, so this again, like, so this makes sense, but this isn't this, even though this price is the same. That's not that, because this only goes back to September, whereas the other chart was like November, right? $14.48.0055. All-time high 1.8. Oh, this is against Sol, though. So this isn't in dollars. Huh. Sell, 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 sell. Huh. Weird. Weird. It's just weird. I will reserve comment for now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll reserve comment for now. I could switch it to USD at the top. I'm not that familiar with Oh yeah. Oh, it is in USD at the top. Ain't that nifty? That's nifty. Cool. Today I learned. It was already in USD. Good tips though. Reserving judgment for this moment. Cryptos R Us George, yes. Chart token was launched December 16th. I was wrong about the previous chart. So the reason you thought that is this data seems correct. 11.8 or 1.18 cents is like the right number, but this doesn't make sense. This isn't the chart. This is what I'm gonna guess is that MEXC had something else listed as Clash, right? And they listed it in August and they unlisted it in September or November, and then they listed Clash, Georgia's coin. And so this is like the two data stitched together, even though they're not the same thing. That's my guess. That is the most likely thing. That's the most likely culprit. Cryptosaurus. That's right. Cryptosaurus. Can you do your name? I'm slowing down on the requests. I'm gonna slow down here on the requests. We've done it. We just did a bunch back to back. I don't enjoy doing back to back to back to back random charts. I don't enjoy that. Bitcoin, I think, is gonna break out. I don't think it's done. I think we're looking at 115.3, right? This little V on the 15. Remember when I pulled this up? I pulled this up on the 1 minute and I said, that's a long. That is a long. Boop. That was a long. Let's go. Sing along. That was a long sing along. Wonder how the SEC CTFC conference thingy is going. I don't actually care. But I wonder how the Trump speech is going. Did the White House ever go live? They did go live. They still haven't gone live. 6 minutes ago. This was supposed to be 50 minutes ago. It was scheduled at 1:15. Comments are turned off. Wonder why the comments are turned off, White House. I feel like that's a violation of my free speech. The comments section on YouTube. It's a fundamental right. Brr. I've been live for a while now. Fresh while. You should join the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. By the way, all of you are already in there. We have like a total of like one new person maybe here today. Pranav, still thinking about what you said. I don't know what you mean, but I say a lot of things. What's my view on Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin's looking good. It's looking good, bro. Really critical, like 24 hours ahead. I'd like to see it hold these gains. I might get rid of this. I owned up to that loss enough. I think we're targeting like 115.3. I'd say into the close of this month, into the close of this quarter. Look good. What's up with that? Well, what's up with that? That's right. What's up with that? If you're looking for somewhere to trade on our exchange partner, BYDFI, big deposit bonuses. I'll advocate for you if you ever have any issues there. That's the biggest value. They got all the perps, no KYC, you know, all the goodies. I think I'm just going to do this, fam. I appreciate you tuning in today. Things are looking good. We probably will go live tomorrow in all reality. We're usually live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Probably go live tomorrow because September is wrapping up just so much better than it looked like it was going to. A close above 115.8, like a close above August open, changes this entire candle from one of the most bearish candles like that we've seen in a while on a monthly. Friday last week it was down here, so bearish, to an incredibly strong candle. And a strong candle heading into Q4 would be a godsend, would be a blessing. We're so close to being there. I feel like we're going to go live tomorrow. I do appreciate you tuning in today. You should tune in tomorrow and Wednesday and the next day. And every day we're live. Just cause. Because, I don't know, just cause. But I appreciate all of you guys. I love you all. I'm glad. Thank you for tuning in. I'll keep putting on these lives. You'll keep being here. It's a good deal. I will catch you soon. Catch you in Pumptober. Crown out.